Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, August 15, 2015. Time is 1:47 a.m. Birmingham. Topic, um, maybe a second, not a coming, but ascension to the clouds. The second coming is when Jesus comes down and his feet touches the ground. But when he comes back for his people, he stops in the clouds. So we go up and meet him in the air. And that's in First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 18. And also in First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. And he says, tell people about this. Comfort each other with these words. And to comfort each other, what's there to comfort each other over an event is going to happen. And the event is we're going home. And we're going home without him coming to the ground to get us. He'll stop in the clouds and call us up. So he says, comfort each other with these words that I'm coming after you. And this is not a second coming. Again, a coming is when he comes to the ground. And his second coming, his feet will touch down on the Mount of Olives. A lot of stuff is going on that's just leading everyone looking at two things. One, what's going to happen to Israel now, next, soon? And two, do you really think that there will be a pre-trib rapture? And it really galls people to think, oh, you're just saying this and hopefully escaping things to come. I hope so. Do you want to be left here in the things that are coming? Really? Do you want to be left here in a place that's worse than it was in the days of Noah? You really want to be in that? You don't have to be. So that's not escapism. That's called getting out of Dodge before things really get bad. And there's a lot of signs pointing to a lot of things right now, today, on all four sides of Israel, including their including their west, which is in the Mediterranean. Even there, Israel has people lined up on its northern borders today, which of course is Syria, and the Palestinians. And then you have them on the western border, again, which is Palestinian, through the whole Gaza Strip thing, and the part of the Mediterranean that Israel's land goes down to, they're even out in the water. So they're surrounded now on the north and on the west. So what about in the south? Yes, sir. They're lined up on the border in the south along Israel. Something is about to take place. And then, of course, we know they're lined up on the eastern border of Israel. They have been for a long time. And right now, you can't count the rockets that's aimed at them. You can bet there's a lot of them. And I said it one time before, they have a really, and when I say they, I don't know exactly who, but I know it's a combination of several countries. United States back in Reagan days started the Star Wars initiative. This is to battle from the skies if needed, to catch incoming if needed. Well, they today have taken that step there. But you know what's strange is what they have that's connected to the silent Star Wars initiative that you never hear about, or super intense weapons up there that has super high concentration of beams that can, once they're, well, beams that'll burn holes through several inches of steel in a matter of seconds. And when you take many of these beams and concentrate them, well, I mean, you can burn a hole right on into the ground. But the case is, why are so many people gathering around Israel? Why are so many people, a lot of them even have the weapons not pointed at specifically Jerusalem, but rather at the Mount of Olives. Why? I mean, the Mount of Olives? Well, because the Bible says that's where Jesus' feet's going to touch when he comes down. And these Star Wars things that are all lined up and they're all in communications with one another, timing wise. And then there's the same thing with these beams on the ground, a lot of them, all set up, everything's set to aim at a particular spot. This is supposed to be the spot where Jesus descends from heaven to earth. They want him gone. They do not want him to touch the ground. Got news for them. It's not going to happen at all. And again, we are to tell people that Jesus is coming before the second coming to take us out, and to warn each other and comfort each other with these words. But no one's talking about all the activity that's pointing in the sky above the Mount of Olives. Wouldn't you think that's odd? It is odd, and it is true. That's how near they believe it is. So if they believe that it's that near, why don't you believe it's at least that near? I think the things are on the fast track. I think the fact that we'll have a Harbinger next month on the 11th, then we'll have a Shemitah that's going to be a punishment on the 13th, and then we're going to have the Jubilee that's going to fall in immediately after. It's going to be another punishment, and then we're going to have, there's another thing I don't recall, but then you're going to have a Pope visit on the 24th and the 26th to bring bad news that's really supposed to tell Americans something like how big your car can be. If you got that big old gas guzzler SUV, you can't drive anymore. What you can and can't grow. And in other words, they want total control of everything that you do. And so a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things are ramping up. And when the Pope comes, he might do two other things. He might say, we have visitors, and I brought them with me. I want you to meet them. That'll be a grand disclosure. And he might say, oh, by the way, I've been asked to be your leader of the new world order. If you hear those words, you're out of here. Things are coming. Things are about to happen. September looks like it's going to be it. I mean, it's not going to be over. That'll be the start of it. Let's hope that we don't continue in after it happens. We want to be out of here. Jody Wolf, Expoz.